Another day, another thought. Welcome on to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope everyone is doing well. As you guys know, I'm RJ together with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
I'm doing well.
Awesome, awesome.
Mississippi MI crooked letter. Anyway. Let's
Okay.
continue.
Thanks to everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show as well as those watching the rebroadcast. We have a good one for you today, so we hope you enjoy today's show.
Yeah, we have a good one. As you can see in the thumbnail, we're gonna talk about Pat McAfee. But before we start talking about that lawsuit, remember, guys, to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, like this show. Whether you're watching it live right now or you're watching the rebroadcast, it helps us with the algorithm and the recommendations because we're here at the Double Thought Show. We're trying to spread the word.
Yes, yes, the gospel.
Yes, sir. And you can help us with that. If this is your first time watching the show and you like it already, just press on the subscribe button down there.
Yeah.
Down there. It's the other down. Man, this is what you get when you're in your mama's basement, man. You might get disoriented, but just let us know. Of course, guys, we're trying to get our subscribers up, and by you joining our Double Thinkers community, you will be part of a group that is
Smaller in number, are we? But larger in mind.
larger in mind. And what is the small number we are trying to reach, RJ?
Yes, yes. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of June of this year.
Yes, let's try to get to that number as soon as possible.
Yes,
And
yes.
you can help us by reaching that to reach that number by sharing the video with your friends, your family, the Mississippi auditor, Pat McAfee, and anyone else. But most of all, distract your enemies with our videos so you can strike them out. Or, of course, you can also share it with an unnamed person in this case.
A so happy person.
A trigger happy person. He's triggered by anything someone says about them. Well, we're not gonna say anything because everything we say false. Listen to this. I'm gonna say it slowly. Everything we say falls under this disclaimer. You can also find the disclaimer in the in the description, not in the comments. Well, we can put it in the comments as well if you can read. I'm not sure if you can read, but RJ, take it away.
Yes, yes, yes. Guys, before we proceed, the usual disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in the articles, videos we show on our channel do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of the Double Thought Show, KR, nor myself. All topics we discuss are for entertainment purposes only. Yes, KR?
And the documents we show.
And the documents we show. All topics we discuss, we do it for entertainment purposes only. Remember that viewer discretion is advised and all commentary is alleged because here on the Double Thought Show, we don't know anything.
No, we don't know anything, and we are also journalists. So we are using sources that we are going to also show during this show.
Yes, yes,
Specifically
yes.
during this show, we are very into details
Yes,
with
yes,
these
yes.
shows because, like we said already, someone is trigger happy. Let's continue.
Yes, yes. Um, we are.
Allegedly trigger happy. It's a figure of speech.
Yes, yes. We KR, don't need to be so afraid, man. We're good.
I'm not afraid. I'm just very, very anyway.
Aware of the dangers.
Aware of the danger. That's
Oh, man.
like saying KR, don't put your hand in the lion's cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're putting our hands in the lion's cage. You know what can happen. You gotta have a iron how you say that, protection. Continue.
Yes. Yes. Furthermore, guys, remember, if you require any assistance with regards to specific areas of your life, for example, legal assistance, financial assistance, life assistance, that probably need to go to the hospital. Um, life coaching, whatever, whatever it is. We strongly urge you to seek out the assistance and support of the professionals in the respective fields in which you require assistance. For everything else pertaining to entertainment, we welcome you to the Double Dot Show.
Yes, sir. Welcome everyone who is watching this live show. And as we always say at the Double Dot Show, Hora do show! Hora do show! Showtime! It's showtime. Today we are going to talk about the lawsuit between, well, the defamation lawsuit between Brett Favre, Pat McAfee, Shannon Sharpe, and Shad White. Today we're going to specifically talk about Pat McAfee's response to the lawsuit, his legal response, because we have shown in previous show as well his response on the show.
Talking about, I'm not getting a lawyer, talking wild.
He was posturing.
I was
He was
like,
talking wild in the beginning, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe he was strolling the internet and saw the Double Thought show and thought, RG is is saying something there. It's not advice, but I gotta think. I gotta lose my head.
yeah,
Great analysis, RJ. Let me get the lawyer.
yeah.
Guys, we have a quite large, well, 17 videos on this topic. We have a special playlist. Brett McAfee versus Brett McAfee. Brett Favre versus Pat McAfee and others. A legend in an ugly crash waiting. A legend in an ugly crash waiting to happen. Well, we'll talk about this today further. We have 17 clips on this, and we have talked about this in 3 live shows before. 3 live shows. So as you can see here, we have been covering this story for a while now. And today we are going to continue. What I think is remarkable is that from the 3 people that are being sued, only 2 are actually out there. We have found so far.
Shannon Sharpe.
Well, he's not in a vicinity. I don't know what he's doing.
He's listening to his lawyers. He's listening to his lawyers.
But he didn't even file a counter argument. Or at least not that I know of.
Yeah, not that we know of. Yeah.
But Shad is out here blazing Brett on Twitter.
Yeah.
And now, on top of that, Pat is also clapping back. And we're going to look at his clapback because it's a clapback. It's a clapback for sure. It's more like Pat was like,
You think you can do this to me?
you think you can do this to me? I'm a big dog these days. Well, he admitted that with this lawsuit, he's officially a big dog. because little dogs don't get sued. Imagine he pulls us into that. Makes us a big dog in the world.
Stop wishing, man.
I'm not wishing
What type of
anything.
whatever
I'm not
energy,
wishing anything.
whatever type of
I'm-
energy.
I'm not wishing anything. You know, you never know. If you, they always say allegedly. There is a video on I've seen it. Maybe you've seen this as well. And I'm not saying someone is that, but there is a video on YouTube where they gave it. It's of course it's a CGI. You get these guys who are seems like rebels, and they gave a chimpanzee an AK-47. Do you know that?
No, I don't.
And he started playing with the gun, and anyway, it didn't end well.
Of course.
So sometimes you never know if a chimpanzee can do weird things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we're going to talk about the clapback of Pat McAfee and how are we going to assess whether he stands a good chance to be victorious or at least get a dismissal, because he filed for a dismissal. He filed for dismissal. And we're going to start by looking at a couple of articles.
Where do we begin?
So, where do we begin? We begin at the last thing we talked about. Well, we tried to talk about last time around. Pat removed the defamation case to federal court. Where he believes he has a better chance to win this case. He also filed a motion to dismiss after the case was moved. And of course, you can see here it's been reported on several websites, Bleacher Report, Front Office Sports, The Athletic, and you also have Bleacher Report reporting on the dismissal or the filing of a dismissal and the call for a charity donation. Yes, because Pat shared on Twitter the day he filed for the dismissal. He shared a quite long explanation of the situation. RJ, before we dive deep into the explanation, you want to say something?
No, with regards to, well, it just seems to, so we're going to discuss the content in a bit, but it just seems that the playfulness remains. So it's like, I mean, that's the Pat McAfee we know, right? The joking, so that remains. I do think that he doesn't, I mean, that's what he said from the start. Doesn't want to go to court. So of course they're filing a motion to dismiss now in order to avoid going to the starting a whole trial. But not only that, he the matching of foundations. He's like, okay, let's I mean, it's serious, but at the same time, it's a joke. I mean, It's like a joke.
Donations.
I do think that Brett is in deep waters himself. And as you said at the beginning of the show, Shad White, right?
Shit, yeah.
He's really attacking. He's like, oh, you're gonna say that what I said was false? Well, listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So so he has a totally different approach, and Shannon is staying quiet. So one
Totally
quiet,
two different ways of of
one
handling
quiet,
this case.
one quiet, one not wanting to fight, and one throwing the first punch. It's like, I'm not gonna wait. Here,
I'm not
here
gonna,
you go.
I'm not gonna use a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this myself.
Yeah. And Pat is like, no,
Where's
you
the
know
mo-
what?
Where's the keyboard? I'm gonna do this myself.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I do agree with you. Well, one thing though, and this is, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but think about this. What this actually means. If so Pat is saying to Brett, you're trying to sue me. But you're trying to sue me, you're trying to get money from me for you. Why don't you give the money you're trying to sue me for to the poor?
yeah,
The same poor,
you allegedly,
that's what he said. That's what she said. He said in this case, you stole from. It's like he's indirect. He's going back to the statements he made.
yeah.
He's putting Brett will look even worse if he doesn't match the donation.
Yeah. Well, he looks
He
worse.
stole twice. Oh no, allegedly.
He looks worse if he, but at the same time, isn't it like an admission of guilt, or it can be seen as an admission of guilt if he does it? You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, he put him. You damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Damned if you don't. Yeah.
He's so I don't know if he did this on purpose, but it's a very good move.
Strategic move. Yeah. And
It's all jolly,
now
jolly,
we can,
jokey, but
yeah, but now we can say, let's say, if Brett Favre gets convicted, if the judge does find that he
unlawfully
unlawfully
got the grants, or
yeah.
at least on the Mississippi side of the lawsuit.
yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
So we're talking about the Mississippi lawsuit. Let's call it the Mississippi lawsuit, which is the original case against Brett Favre. If he is, that's what you said. If he gets sued for that, then he'll be sued on the one hand. So not sued. If he gets if the judgment is against him, then he would lose one here. So lose the original case. Consequently, he will probably lose the other cases as well. And he would be remembered as well for refusing to donate money to the Mississippi or one of the organizations, right? The nonprofit cause. So it's like it'll be like multiple losses.
3 L's in one jump. I think we had a pretty good show about this, which we talked about. We called it, will Brett's no quit attitude lead to an ugly crash? Is Brett Favre's lawyer bluffing as Pat McAfee is officially sued for defamation? Will it lead to 3 L's? 3 losses. Seems like the lawyer, Brett Favre's lawyer, is not the O-line you want to have.
Yeah. Like I told you, man, it's like Brett and Marriott, referring to the Marriott versus Michael Irving case. It seems like they have the same lawyers, man.
Yeah, go watch on Monday, guys. We covered that. Go watch on Mondays. What I mean is, we dropped the show on Mondays.
We dropped a show last Monday about Michael Irvin. as well.
Again, yeah.
It's not like we don't. It's not like we have a Michael Irving Monday theme show. It's like last Monday.
Last Monday. Yes. The previous week we dropped the show about, or was it on Thursday? The one about Michael Jordan. I think that was Thursday.
That was on Thursday. That was
Thursday. Yeah. So guys, here we are. Let me go back to that Pat McAfee statement. He starts with beautiful people. As of a few moments ago, I have filed for dismissal of Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against me in federal court in the fine state of Mississippi. I very much understand that that next to nobody on earth wants to hear more about this type of stuff. So I apologize for contributing more negativity and bullshit into the world, seemingly foul, with too much of them both to begin with. Let me see. From the very beginning, I thought the lawsuit against me was a joke, a fugazi, a rip. Today makes it all feel like there has been a true glitch in the simulation. He's written it down like he's doing the show.
I think he used those words as well.
He uses
Some of those, yeah. The fugazi,
fugazi. Yeah, fugazi.
I think he used it.
So I usually heard. I've known the word fugazi, but he uses the word fugazi in the show. So that's what you get from Pittsburgh. What else does he say? He continues talking about the damning facts of the very sad welfare fraud scandal of Mississippi. New things are still being presented and reviewed weekly. A defamation lawsuit from a public figure in sports who is in the middle of it all against a comedic sports show seems a bit bananas. That's because it's B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Hey, yo. This guy is. Imagine you release a statement and you within that. This is typically a Pat, man.
Pat, yeah.
That's why I like him. But yeah, he continues basically saying the team of lawyers that I've had to hire for this entire process, and I are confident in the dismissal. Oh, let me share the screen again. If not, we are very ready and prepared for the next steps in court. So he's basically saying I'm ready to go to court, but I don't want to go to court, but I'm not scared to go to court.
Yeah.
We got it locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Then he closes it out. This is where Brett. Oh no, wait a second. Before he does it, regardless of what happens legally, I would like to showcase what our show is actually about, and extend an invite to Mr. Brett Lorenzo Farve. Brett, match me with a donation to a Big Brothers Big Sisters Foundation in Mississippi. Let's help out the next generation of Mississippians together. Let's give some support to the citizens of your state who might need it a little bit. I'm surprised he didn't say just a little bit. You know the song by 50 Cent?
Dun, 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 just a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's make something positive out of this sad clown show of a defamation with no merit. Oh my God. I appreciate everyone's support through all of this. It has been a bit stressful for me, my pregnant wife, my employees, and their families. We are all very eager for this chapter to be done with.
Of course.
Cheers to everybody, and let's remember to take care of each other. And and not allegedly reported steal from those who need it the most.
Allegedly and reportedly. Allegedly and reportedly. It's like it's a double coverage. Allegedly and reportedly.
Pat. Man, oh man. Let me take a sip.
Reportedly and allegedly. Well, I think that the lawyer, I assume that he ran it past his lawyers. And I assume as well that the lawyer or the lawyers probably advised against the post. But on the other hand, sometimes, at the end of the day, you can only advise. You cannot make the executive decisions on behalf of your clients. I'm not saying that they did, actually. So this is what I think. But even so, you know what it is for a lawyer to advise on something like this. So it's like, look at it. I wouldn't use that word. I wouldn't use clown. I wouldn't use. Okay, well, if you want to, I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but I just wouldn't use it. So.
But this is the human part of Pat.
This is who Pat is. This is who Pat is.
Imagine you read a dry statement. This is not, but you already know it. He went through the lawyers.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a look at the original filing by Brett Lorenzo Favre.
Yeah.
So in his statement, plaintiff Brett Favre basically was saying that Pat, or the Pat McAfee show, had a couple of statements that are defamatory. One of them being the Devontae Smith doing the Farve after a touchdown was crazy. You know, the Farve, doing the Farve. According to this file, you can see, oh no, you guys cannot see. Oh, that's why. Here is so it's a, you can see the picture here, and what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to do, it's a GIF. It's a GIF. So in the GIF, he basically takes out of the
pot,
the honey pot. According to Farve, As above images showed, McAfee's defamatory tweet was viewed nearly 4 million times, and tens of thousands of Twitter users retweeted and quoted or liked it. On February the 3rd,
The
What's up?
Farve. And I'm just laughing at the Farve.
well, it might be, it will be remembered as the Farve. If this lawsuit fails, this might be the Farve forever.
Forever.
This might fire back on him. I don't know. I'm not sure, but let's take a look. Counsel of Farve demanded that McAfee retracted and apologized for his defamatory statements. McAfee refused, prompting Farve to file this action. McAfee's false statements that Farve stole money from the poor in Mississippi are malicious lies that injured Favre's reputation and caused Favre financial harm by, among others, diminishing Favre's ability to generate income through endorsements, appearances at events, or on radio, television programs, or hosting his own radio show or television program. McAfee should be held responsible for his lies, compelled to pay Favre for the damage that he has caused, as well as punitive damages for his reprehensible conduct. So this is basically, in short, what they also go into the damages and prayer for relief and all the other stuff. What do you think about this document, RJ? The complaint.
Well, they make good. So I think we have to remember that it all has to do. Everything, let's say, is deriving from a court case in Mississippi, and it's only defamation, let's say, if it's false, and it's only a problem if, let's say, if he didn't do anything and he calls some and Pat McAfee labeled something as, yeah, continue. You want to
No.
interrupt?
Just answer. Are you done with
No, no, but I just saw you.
defamation? Also, if it's malice, right?
If
With
it's so
with-
reckless,
reckless, that
yeah. If it's so reckless, yeah. But so I can imagine, let's say, if you do this, you call it the Farve, and it catches on. You understand what I'm saying? Then I would say. So I personally would say, hey, yeah, you're saying because he's stealing, you call it the Farve. But if he did steal 1 penny, if the court finds that he stole 1 penny, then he basically made you immortal. So you should be thankful.
they ain't looking good, bruv.
But ain't looking good for Brett because of the initial, I'd say, because of the case, the original case itself, because his position, because it's not looking good for him there, and Brett and McAfee was only reporting the news. Then, but to me, that's the only thing. Let's say the Farve, to me, that's the only thing that's like,
It's a bit wild.
it's a bit wild. It can catch on, is what I'm saying, as the Farve.
Well, they also talk about that in the motion to dismiss. Here at the Double Thought Show, sometimes we do some research.
Sometimes, but not as experts, as laymen, just as you.
Yes, we just dived into. So not a lot of times we dive this deep because it's a lot of reading. It's 29 pages, guys. We got 28 actually. I can count. We got the file. We got the file. We got him. Who said we got him? Put in the comments who said, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Anyway, we have here the motion to dismiss by Pat McAfee. Yeah, so basically it starts with an introduction of the whole case, what is going on. It mentions the volleyball facility quagmire in the other Mississippi case. So you can see here. Also, money being transferred to a for-profit biotech company. I think their name is mentioned here. Down low, not sure. Prefacus, I think it's called. Yeah, see it? Is it here? I cannot see it here. But yeah, it's basically starts with an introduction, and it also highlights that Farve's complaint ignores the MDHS lawsuit entirely, which is the lawsuit in Mississippi, and instead attempts to paint Farve as the defamed victim of two cherry-picked statements and a tweet allegedly made by comedic sports analyst and broadcaster Pat McAfee. I think we have to add that to our names or to our bio.
What?
Comedic commentators.
I told you this already, man.
Yeah, but not. I use.
You don't even listen to me when I
use
talk.
humorous angle, but I think I'm gonna change that to comedic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It
use
doesn't mean
comedic.
doesn't mean we're funny, but it is comedic.
Yeah.
We might not be funny comedians to you, but we are comedic.
You're funny to someone, right?
Yeah.
Comedic analyst. That's what we are. Analysts and commentators. But let's continue. It also says, it's apparent, however, that when taken in context as required by Mississippi law, McAfee's comments are not actionable defamation. And I think they're going to talk about that more further down. What they also say is first, the comments were not false statements of fact about Farve. Because back then, when it was reported, it's reports. So I think that's what they mean by this, right?
Let me see it again.
This one. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was your question?
It's not a false statement of fact about Farve.
No,
It's because it was reported, right?
it was reported, and because
The lawsuit?
it was also because McAfee made it clear that it was alleged, and so it
Okay.
didn't. So in my opinion, it isn't. It's based on fact. Yeah.
Second, as comments on official proceedings by MDHS and the auditor's office, McAfee's statements were privileged. Furthermore, as a public figure, Farve has utterly failed to plead the essential element of actual malice, which permits recovery only if McAfee acted with a high degree of awareness of the falsity of the statements and entertained serious doubts as to their truth. These are the points they are trying to make here.
Yeah.
After that, basically they go into it in meritless case like this one. There is a powerful interest in ensuring that free speech is not abundantly burdened by the necessity of defending against expensive, baseless litigation. As a public figure, bringing suit against a media defendant for reporting on matters of public concern. Are they referring to the Farve here? Public concern? Anyway, let's continue.
No, but
Which
yeah, finish
want
the
to say
sentence.
something?
Yeah,
It
finish the
was a
sentence.
joke, guys. It was a joke. It was.
Finish the sentence.
Which are the subject of official proceedings and the detail at length in public records. Farve cannot state a claim of defamation upon which relief can be granted.
Mhm. Yeah.
Want to say something?
Yeah. So basically, um, I think so. Okay, I'm not familiar with U.S. law. I'm not familiar with case law to see how a judge will decide in a situation like this, in a case like this. But I mean, it's pretty clear, in my opinion, that what Farve is doing isn't. He's what you mentioned already. That was also written. He's simply not acknowledging what's happening in Mississippi. He's not acknowledging the case in Mississippi.
What?
And he's
Mississippi?
and he's
What is
clear.
Mississippi? It's
How-
like it's sorry, I'm interrupting. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
interrupting, but I have to say this. This reminds me of Marriott. But continue.
Yeah. Well,
In the sense
I-
of
yeah, I understand what you're saying. Clearly, notwithstanding the fact that there are witnesses and cameras, where it is still persisting.
nothing
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
There is a
but
full-blown lawsuit on the left. But you're
But-
acting like there is no lawsuit there. But
yeah. But I think Favre's case is worse because Marriott can at least say, yeah, the video you interpret it this way, but it should be interpreted like this. But Favre is ignoring, like, I mean, it's not facts. Let's not say facts, but a lot of evidence in the Mississippi case that proves that the allegations might be true to a certain extent. And if they are true there are text messages, allegedly text messages in which Favre asks what the consequences might be if the media or the public finds out. So if you have all
they mentioned these as well in here. So
yeah, so okay, so I mean, it's pretty clear to me. So and I can understand why Pat is saying, because in the tweet you mentioned, Pat, you showed at the beginning of the show, you did mention that Pat said, and listen, I don't want to go to court because this is just ridiculous. I mean, if you want to go to court, I'm ready to go to court, but judge, please let us not take it so far because Brett is out of his mind.
allegedly.
Alleged.
Pat's lawyers continue to sum up basically a couple of parts to give more context about this whole quagmire. They sum up real quick the auditor's office, shout out to Shad White, announced discovery of the misuse of tens of millions of dollars of welfare TANF funds. They continue by summing up also what happened on October 2021, where the auditor's office issued a demand to Farve for repayment of the misdirected TANF funds. What also followed is that in May 2022, MDHS sued Favre for his alleged involvement in the misdirection of TANF funds to himself, Favre Enterprises, the biotech technology company Prevacus as well. They state the MDHS lawsuit accused Favre. The MDHS lawsuit accused Favre and Favre Enterprises of conspiring with Nancy New, then Chief Executive Officer of MCEC.
Hammer. Hammer.
What?
MC Hammer.
Oh. I'm like, why are you saying hammer the whole time? Well, to divert 1.1 million in TANF funds to Favre and Favre Enterprise in exchange for speeches, autograph signings Favre never performed. Here they show that defendants who agreed to diversion of funds to non-TNF purposes, Brett L. Favre, Favre Enterprises, and Nancy New. Recipients of diverted TNF funds, Brett L. Favre and Brett Enterprises. Amount, 1.1 million. Non-TNF purposes of transfer, autographs, and 4 speeches that never were performed. Date of transfer, December 2017, 500,000. June of 2018, 600,000. Anything you want to say so far before I continue?
No, let's continue.
Oh, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this. Because so far,
Doesn't look
seems
good.
like Pat's lawyers didn't come to play.
Yeah. Good thing that Pat hired lawyers as well. Because
He wanted to go commando.
yeah.
Good thing he listened to his friends as well and people that might have advised him to do so, because he is saving himself from a lot of problems. Let's continue. Oh, of course, I need to share my screen. They continue by saying, specifically, MDHS alleged that Favre urged the then Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Prevacus, to solicit Nancy New to use MDHS funds, grants, proceeds to invest in the stock of Prevacus in the personal names of herself and her son, Zachary New. This is quite wild. Yikes. In September 2022, evidence was filed in the MDHS lawsuit demonstrating, which is kind of a funny way of saying, Favre's involvement in the misdirection to USM and even more TANF funds. It's a very interesting use of words, demonstrating. Those exhibits included the following text messages between Favre and Nancy New. And guys, if you're watching this, please like, share, and subscribe.
Especially subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Yes. We're going to take a look at the text messages. Let's see what he has to say. Favre text New on August the 3rd, 2017. if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? Well, Brett, the only way they could find out is
If-
if you get sued by them. That's not what she said, though. She said, no. No. We never have had that information. We never have had that information publicized. I understand you being uneasy about that, though.
Game over.
That's a crazy way to.
Now let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Go back.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go back to the.
Oh, you want to go back?
Yeah, of course, you need to share the clip. Okay, so let's see.
You want to go up?
No, just a bit.
You want to go down?
No, it's good there. Okay. What you just mentioned. Knew that Farve was seeking grant funds from MDHS to build the volleyball facility. Those exhibits include the following text messages between Farve and Nancy New. Farve text to New on July, expressing the excitement that then the MDHS executive director John Davis had committed $4 million to the volleyball facility. But when he asked, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? He can say, yeah, but Judge, I'm not saying that I knew it was illegal. I'm saying I just wanted to ask. I just asked to see, because the media is filled with people that want to destroy me and destroy my reputation. So, Judge, actually, it's unfair to or at least you cannot conclude that I knew that it was illegal. I'm innocent, Judge.
Okay. I think the judge might say,
I smell cap.
Well,
I smell cap.
you can smell
and
it.
then the lawyer would say,
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
I think it's not that. So that's why I'm saying. That's why I said I'm playing devil's advocate. Not
And-
so knowing, and there are two things, right? A, I didn't know something. I didn't know it was.
No. Wait.
You can say I didn't know. You can say I didn't know something. For example, Farve can say I didn't know that it was illegal, and the judge might say, yeah, you didn't know, but you were supposed to know, because you have knowing or supposed to know. And if you were supposed to know, it's basically the same as knowing. But I'm just saying what he.
yeah, no, you're playing devil's advocate, but it's like jumping in a fighter jet and running into a boat.
Well, I'm a bit
Flying
confused.
into a boat, not running into
I was just about to say, I'm a bit confused. Why would you enter in a private jet to run
not a
on
private.
a fighter jet to run into a boat? Where did you? So is it a Jesus boat that can run on water, but like
Well, apparently the money transfers itself. So maybe there is
a higher power.
a higher power. Yeah, moving money around, moving boats around,
Yeah, maybe you're right.
flying boat.
Maybe you're right.
They say the Rolls Royce is a driving boat. So maybe there is a flying boat.
Maybe there is.
But I don't know if Brett has it. Let's continue, guys. And after, on September 23rd, 2022, Brian filed a response to the MCEC motion to compel asserting that unbeknownst to him, New and Farve were pursuing MDHS funds for the USM Volleyball Center. Brian also attached text to his filing, including a text in which Farve suggests that MCEC compensate him for a few radio spots, expressly so that he could pass the money along to the USM for construction of the volleyball facility. Maybe you should have waited before you played the advocate.
I am trying to bring some life
So
to the
balance,
story, or else you're
balance
just,
to the force.
or else you're just reading KR, or else you're just reading.
What?
So I'm saying I'm
Bro, what are you
bringing
talking about, man?
I'm bringing something in front. So now you have something to refute. You're welcome.
Yes, that's a great show, great producing right there.
You're welcome.
Thank you, RJ. I think Brett should also thank you because now his boat is sinking double fast. Double fast.
It's been sinking.
Allegedly.
Uh,
Anyway, furthermore, what else do they talk about? Farves allegedly being urged to repay part of that 5 million. They also mentioned that Favre's alleged co-conspirators have pled guilty to crimes involving the misdirected direction of TNF funds, including to Prevacus and USM. Nancy and Zachary New were each indicted by the state of Mississippi on January 2022. They pled guilty on April 22nd, 2022. Among other charges, three counts each of wire fraud for involvement in the transaction of MCEC limited purpose grant funds to Prevacus.
For purposes not allowed pursuant to the limited purpose grants from which the funds originated. Yep. Well, I see there's a high chance of this motion of the case to be dismissed. Actually, if you look at it like this, I mean, I don't know what Far's reaction would be, but
the person he has been
dealing with, this is like FTX. Everyone is pleading guilty and entering into plea deals, and he is saying,
"Oh shoot! Are you saying they are?"
No, they're not. They just said that they pled guilty. So I didn't
Okay,
read.
they pled guilty. That is true.
Yeah.
You gotta plead guilty, right, to get a plea deal. Certain counts. Are they building a bigger case?
I don't know how plea deals.
It's
work.
found the big fish in this pond.
I don't know how plea deals work, but I can imagine that there is a settlement somewhere. But because plea deals have the characteristic of a settlement, so I would, I would imagine that it has something to do. So you do have some leniency, but I don't. In this case, they just pled guilty.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
Nancy knew it, the person he was texting with
texting, yeah.
about will the media know about this?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not. I haven't. I don't think you either, Kr. But I haven't really. Though I haven't had the time to dive into the Mississippi case,
No, didn't.
so I cannot really um, appreciate as in you appraise something. I cannot really value the extent to which it is a strong argument or not.
Yeah.
I don't know in which context the let's say
And it's,
so the 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 admittance of guilt to
would
and how so to what extent it relates to
to
Brett
Brett.
Favre's role in all of this. But I guess we'll have to wait to see how Brett responds. But if I just read this, I would think that hey, Brett, or I had the feeling already, but now I mean, if there is relation, then I really don't know what Brett is doing in his case by
At the same
suing.
time, affiliation, well, in the streets, affiliation might put you in the same corner as the other ones. But just because the person he was texting with, talking about a lot of stuff, gray area stuff, doesn't mean he was part of the gang as well. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's kind of a very interesting topic. This,
yeah, but
guys, let us know in the. Huh?
yeah, yeah. Let us know, guys, in the comment section below what you think. If I'm not mistaken, a motion to dismiss is basically it's not the actual case, right? Because we don't really dive deep into the case. What you're saying is, Judge, there is enough information now that points towards this case being a waste of state resources, time and resources. So it's not really diving deep into the case to see whether it's someone is right or wrong. It's just saying, Judge, there isn't enough to even start the case, and or at least the plaintiff hasn't made it clear why there's enough to actually proceed with the case. And yeah, let's see how the judge will, or let's see how Brett Favre will react, and especially how the judge will decide.
Yeah. What else do they mention? They mention they talk about more context, like they are saying in this same document that Brett is taking a lot of the things that he's mentioning um, in his motion, in his complaint, that that these are out of context, and they also give some context here on those things, basically saying that he's cherry picking and putting everything out of context. In that way, he is basically taking a small segment of 85 seconds of a 3-hour broadcast, and then they give specifics on what is actually said during the show. So I think that's interesting to see as well. They also mention here that he has, as a public figure, faces the burden of proving actual malice. As they say, the complaint pleads no false statements of fact. The November 30 statements do not contain false statements of fact. Second, the December 24 tweet is non-actionable innuendo. They continue to basically state on specifics and also mentioning that from the comedic and unfiltered context of the show, that is reasonable listener would expect McAfee to use subjective language, epithets, fiery rhetoric, and hyperbolic
Bollocked.
and to share his opinions. And hyperbolic, yeah, hyperbolic,
Hyperbole.
hyperbole. Jesus,
Hyperbole.
yeah, it's hyperbole. Yeah. For example, McAfee kicked off the subject segment on the 30th of November 2022 broadcast by joking that Farve is the actual sticky bandits from Home Alone 2 in New York. Throughout the segment, McAfee did not implicitly assert any first-hand knowledge inaccessible to the show's audience because he has none. I mean, I think that's we talked about this in a previous show as well, where it's hard to actually say it was malice because Pat usually says a lot of jokes during the show.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line from actual malice, him reporting on a case, making a joke about it, to saying he knew that it's wrong, and then turning around saying he purposely
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah. 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 I think it's I don't think it's I mean if you as a if Pat is not allowed to if Pat if the judge says that I'm not talking about the motion to dismiss right now, but let's say if the case does go to trial and Favre wins the case, then you have to ask yourself whether so to what extent the freedom of speech that journalists should have will be disproportionately impacted, because Favre said allegedly a couple of times his show is clearly different from other sports shows. It's very comedic, so they make a lot of jokes. It's lighthearted. It's more like a barbershop type of environment. That's the nature of the show. If Pat McAfee can't make jokes like that, then basically it would need to become a show just like all the other shows. And I think Favre makes it clear what the intent is of the show.
McAfee continues by saying, for example, McAfee's use of the phrases "tied the hands off," "took from the pockets of," "stealing," and "in the middle of" support the position that a reasonable listener would not have interpreted his statement as actual facts. I think they're talking about the when he's saying he tied the hands of the poor and took from the pockets of them, basically, which is kind of that was a pretty funny joke. McAfee also made expressly clear that he was not stating actual facts about Favre, but rather commenting and sharing his opinion on allegations by prefacing his comments with "from the information that we have currently. Obviously, Brett Favre Enterprises is alleging that this is all wrong. Favre's deliberate omissions of the phrase "from the information that we have currently," when quoting McAfee is telling, when quoting McAfee is telling, Farve hopes this court will ignore its obligation to consider this critical context. The court should not. I mean, then he continues to say that the Devante doing the Farve is a product of innuendo, and that basically saying anything about it is just speculation. I don't know about that. I think, to be honest, that I mean, it's quite clear that what how would I say what Pat is meaning by that. So it's a small thing, but in general, in the general sense, you would understand that's also a joke. It's not. I don't know. I don't know what Brad is trying to reach here, man. I don't know. And they basically finalize. They close it off with the fact that, let me see real quick. Mississippi law likewise recognize an official proceeding privilege pursuant to which the publication of defamatory matter concerning another in a report of official action or proceeding or of a meeting open to the public that deals with the matter of public concern is privileged if the report is accurate and complete or a fair abridgment of the occurrence reported. And they close it off by saying that as a public figure, Farve faces the additional burden of proving actual malice by clear and convincing evidence. They said, Amistad, actual malice is a statement made with knowledge that it was false or with reckless disregard of whether it was false or not. The totality of Farve's allegation of actual malice is conclusory averment set forth in paragraph 27, blah, 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 blah. McAfee acted with actual malice and with knowledge of the falsity of the defamatory statement, or at minimum with reckless disregard of the falsity by purposely avoiding the truth and in fact lying that Farve committed what are serious crimes in the state of Mississippi. I mean, yeah. RJ, at the end of this all, by I don't know if I'm not sure if they will dismiss this lawsuit, or at least the one against Pat, but I don't think it looks good. If you look at the big looks good for Brett. I mean, because I mean he's basically pointing out that Brett has still the other case. It's been proven in the other case that it's not totally false what he's saying, or at least if you put the jokes in context, you could understand the jokes and the statements. Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. You're on mute.
My bad. Yeah, so it depends on the context. Let me start there. Context always plays a role. But there are certain things that can be said that are bad despite the context. For example, you say you're going to say something about person, your opinion of the person. And then you say, for example, okay, I went to let's use, for example, governor. You go, you talk to a governor, your experience is terrible with the government. You talk about the governor. Your experience, you had to wait, he was rude to you, etc., etc., etc. And at the end, you say, yeah, and you mention that he's corrupt. And then you keep on talking. Da, 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 da. The fact that you say that he's corrupt is in itself bad if there isn't any if there aren't any if there isn't evidence to support that claim. So for example, maybe he admitted it publicly, or perhaps there's a case that he lost, or there's enough evidence. Maybe there isn't a verdict yet, but there's enough to prove that he is. So context plays a role, but it's not everything. However, when I look at this particular case, I think there's a lot of smoke in Favre's direction, and especially seeing as how a lot of, or at least some other people who were involved in this Farve scandal have pleaded guilty. The text messages in which Farve explicitly asks whether the information will come out, etc., etc. I mean, there are a lot of things there to conclude that Pat McAfee was not, in my opinion, was not speaking out of his ass. He was basing his comments on the original sources, and he kept saying allegedly as well. The only thing that I'm taking is I'm a bit concerned about is the joke he made. But if there's proof that you stole, then too bad for you. Or if there's enough. So the whole purpose here of the case is, so this case again is not so the motion is to throw away the case. It has nothing to do with the content itself. So if you're asking me whether I think that the case will go to trial, I'll say I think that the motion will. I think that the judge will. There's a high probability, in my opinion, I believe at least, that the judge will agree with the motion to not pursue the case. And maybe wait until there's an end in the Mississippi case, because everything, I think there's a strong correlation there, and you cannot finish this case if the other one is still pending.
Really?
That's what I think. That's what I'm not saying that it is the case. There are two separate cases, but I think that especially if you look at what Brett is saying in his motion, or not Brett, but Pat McAfee, he's saying that a lot of things point towards the stories being true. So he's basing a lot of the things he did on the actual case that's going on in Mississippi against Brett Favre. So I think that definitely plays a role, which is why I believe that there's a strong. I mean, I think if I'm not a specialist in U.S. law, so a lawyer. If there's a lawyer amongst us, please let us know. But that's what as a layman in American law, that's what I believe.
Okay. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think Let us know if Brad might have put his foot in his mouth. Does he stand a chance? Is it the end? Should Brad pack it up and go home? Is Brad's lawyer the one gassing him up? Let us know in the comments what you think. The lawyer was talking crazy about suing the bricks. No, not literally the bricks. He would sue millions. It would cost him millions. And he was saying that this will teach Pat not to talk crazy about other people. Of course, not a literal quote, but that's what he was basically saying.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's see how this will continue to develop. Audrey, can you sum this up?
Gladly. Guys, in today's show, we talked about the latest developments in the Brett Favre case, Brett Favre Pat McAfee case. As Kara said, Shannon Sharpe is also involved, or this is a separate case against Shannon, but he isn't responding. And a third case against the state auditor of Mississippi, who said, hey, listen, you want to go this route? I'm going to disclose information, but I'm just doing my job. My job is to audit, and that's what I did. I audited, and these were the results of my audit. But in this specific case, we saw that Pat McAfee filed a motion to dismiss the case that Brett Favre initiated against him, stating that the case is not, that there's not sufficient base to proceed with the case because there's a lot. So because Brett Favre is completely ignoring the Mississippi case, which is the case in which Brett Favre is being accused of using millions in funds or misusing millions in funds for other purposes, stealing or defrauding or whatever you want to call it. And he's Pat McAfee is saying, yeah, in Brett Favre is trying to appear as a innocent victim who is being accused of things, but that's not true. He's completely ignoring the fact that there is a case against him, and also ignoring the fact that we used allegedly continuously in the show, and that we were joking, etc., etc., etc. So we'll definitely keep you posted on the developments, but it does seem that KR has that feeling, I believe, and I have the feeling as well, that it does not look good for Favre. And even if the motion to dismiss the case is denied and they actually do go to trial, proceed with the trial, I don't see Brett Favre coming out as a winner the way things are painting right now. But we will definitely keep following. We'll continue to follow this news, and we'll update you or do a show about it as soon as there are new information. If there are anything, guys, you want us to talk about, please let us know as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. KR, I believe I did a reasonable job, I believe,
I mean, you covered a lot of stuff, so that's okay. I think in general that we'll see how this ends. I do agree with you with the fact that it's not looking good, and yeah, I don't know how he's gonna win this, because this is like being down 25 to 3.
Is it
21 to
possible?
3.
Well, he can still win, allegedly, if he
28 to 3. Is that figurative of saying he has to get the information from point A to point B? I guess that's what you're trying to say. As
So, guys, thanks to everyone.
get the information. I don't know. I still don't understand what was going through that lawyer's mind, guys. Let us know in the
Money.
comments.
I mean,
But that
that's
lawyer
the
was
only thing.
fucking crazy.
He basically said, we're gonna bankrupt Pat McAfee.
That's what he
You're not
said.
supposed to talk like that as a lawyer. So
He was talking crazy, and then of course
he's probably he might be on a no cure no pay and
Guys,
he might be yeah. Thanks to everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast. KR, I got the message. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our social media platforms at Double Touch Show on Facebook and Instagram. If you haven't done so already, please, oh please, remember to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us with the algorithm. If you like this video, or if you don't, remember to share it with your friends, your family, but especially share it with.
Before you especially share it with someone, know that you want to share it with the auditors, the people you're suing, the defendant, the plaintiff, and of course, don't forget to distract your enemies with our videos.
Yes. As KR always says at the end of the show.
But I can only show you the door.
And behind that door, you're passing information from point A to point B.
Don't catch a case, guys. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below. We'll see each other in the next one. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.